would be. I don't want to go into it, but I'd be quite interested to see why you think she's like good.
How dare you?
Yeah, I mean, I just think why. Yeah, nice. I like that. Why she? I don't think. I think as a child, whatever. She's a good symbol. You need symbols. You need people to be the face of something. She's pretty good at that. I'd rather her than your man over there. You know what I mean? So
He's got a popping earring.
Yeah. Not your man. Not your man. The guy from the video. What's his name?
Wacky.
No, I'm all for the man with the.
Okay, Greta, if she wants to do that with life, great. Is she being pushed in certain positions by certain people?
Yeah, I mean, I also
That said, the problem I have it isn't so much on the climate change argument. It's more on the argument of hypocrisy. Because when certain individuals of a certain age do things in certain fields in life, they're like, oh, they're too young, they're too this, they're too that. But when Greta does it, it's she's her own, own woman. Da da da. And I just feel like the whole where you draw the line of independence versus childhood is different in different segments of culture. To the point whereby it's very confusing. And there's not really any internal consistency, and it's a very pragmatic thing. So for me, looking at that, it's confusing, like internally confusing. If a child, obviously childs are allowed. Childs.
How old is she? Like,
I don't fucking know.
16?
She's younger than 16. I know that.
So and this is the point. She's been doing it for 3 or 4 years, hasn't she? And this is where it concerns me. Is that I agree that you need a symbol for everything. Blah blah blah. However, that has to come at a great personal cost to someone who's been doing it for 4 years and is now 16 and has Asperger's like she does. It must come at a great personal cost to her, and that's what bothers me. It's not what she's saying particularly. It's that it's got to come at a great.
I mean, the problem is you'll encounter the argument which comes on the other side. Okay. Regardless of her difficulties, if she wants to do that, she can do that, be quite frank. And if she wants to put herself in those certain positions, she can. The problem I have with it is the fact that no one is shining a light on who is with her, the organisations that are actually propping her up. That is being kept in the dark to almost highlight her accomplishments, which is fine.
How many organisations do you think? I mean, seriously, I don't think that's that.
When I say organisations, I mean she's propped up on various media outlets. I don't so much mean there is a
kind of a shady back.
I just mean the fact that she's invited to these events, she's around this to almost be a figurehead for a certain means. Which
the flip side as well is she goes to all these things, she talks to all these influential people, and there's still actually not a great deal of substantial change being done, and that's again why it still plays into that kind of self-congratulatory stuff we're talking about in Hollywood. It's the same thing. She goes to all these things, she does these things, and I think inherently she's a good thing. But at the same time, if it doesn't change anything, or if nothing changes, it's sort of all the same. It's all the kind of same show. And I think again, that's the major problem. Then there's a second problem about environment's only one symptom of many illnesses.
Why are you doing that again?
Because when I do this, just for context, when I do this, it means I've in my head gone on to the next thing. And I'm trying to think about how I can articulate it without upsetting people. So this is what this means.
But now
when I do this, that's what that means.
Now it's for 3 episodes straight, and now it's become a visual representation of frustration.
No.
I could feel it.
When you turn around and see a guy, pass me that. Let me show you what it looks like. So you're talking, and then you turn around and you see this.
The desire for shareable content is just
that is, I'm not sure about this.
Takes bodily form.
That's what I mean. No.
Yeah, let's move on. Come on.
I want to say
no.
There's no segue. Yeah. I want to cover one last thing about what you just said.
Let's cover Greta.
This is an argument which I cannot, for the life of me, decipher. Is it worth? Do the means justify the? I don't want to put a placeholder in and say this. Make you work in this framework. Jump out of it if you need.
Yeah, I probably will.
You will. I think most people wouldn't. They'd be trapped. Do the means justify the ends? In terms of someone like Greta taking a. I don't know if she takes a private jet, but there was some outlets saying there was a lot of commotion in terms of her fucking yippee yapping around the world. She travels a lot. And you say about this sort of morally, virtue based things. If there is no substantial change and someone's doing that, it does feel hypocritical. regardless of your stance. If you go, it's worth it. Like maybe it is. Maybe you can even economically justify that the value gained of going to this summit is. Yeah. But it's just hard to.
I also think
it's hard. It's just hard to talk about because
what she's saying has been said for years.
Yeah.
So why do we put her on a pedestal? Because she's saying it.
Well, she does it from the perspective of the young generation. I think that's the point. Do you know what I mean?
You think it's generational?
Yeah. I think there's a lot to be said for the fact that's in fact her youth. I know it's always used against her, but that's actually the value. That's the whole symbolic point. Is that she's the one, her generation is the one that's going to be kind of affected by it. That's kind of her selling point, and that's not necessarily new because in the sense, generally it's been like 60-year-old hippies who've forward this stuff, like Green Party.
But you talking about it's going to be this generation which is affected. What if it's not?
Well, what if anything? Well, I mean that's a fatuous point.
No, it's not. It's not at all. It's not at all. Because what I'm saying is, you have a figurehead leading a movement. Yeah. There is no counter to that movement. Yeah. Any counteraction to that movement is shunned. Yeah. As fake, alternate, counterculture. Because the irony is she is enacting herself as something which is counterculture. Yeah. She ain't. She's culture. That's culture. Yes, that's mainstream culture. Yeah. So what I'm saying is when you have a movement that is mainstream culture and she's being pitched as someone who is counterculture, it's like there's no room left for anyone to come in and go, hey, actually, I've got a different idea about how we can do this. Yeah. So, but I'm not saying that's bad because that's an inevitability in society, especially with social media. You'll gain these figures. Will Greta Thunberg be around in 4 to 5 years? We'll see. Well, If she
probably not. It's certainly not the same. She'll be a little bit like, I don't know, Lamar or something.
But that's how I feel. Yeah. That's how I feel. If she's not, then her relevancy wasn't. It was a phenomenon. Yeah. Due to the fact, she was a disabled kid who went out her way, did all this stuff. Yeah, great. But if she's not and her relevancy hasn't maintained, then her cause is sort of weakened. To some degree.
Yeah, but that's different from whether she's right or not, which is
no. But what I'm going back to your point, when you say that she is a figurehead for this younger generation, if there is no sort of relevancy left in what she has to say throughout this time period, that almost weakens that position.
I mean, that's obviously in a sense it's circular because I think it will.
Okay,
I personally,
I don't know.
I don't think it's going to be. I think it may be apocalyptic. Who knows? But as I also want to stress, I don't think just focusing on the environment is the same thing because I think people are going back to psychosis. People have real deep-rooted problems with how they're living. They don't know how to make sense of it. And an easy thing to say is, well, once we solve the environment, all my problems will go away.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's.
I tell you what,
I disagree with that. No, I agree with what you're saying. But the sentiment's just fucking star,
the sentiment. That's my worry because I'm pro-environment, but you shouldn't be exclusively because that's only the beginning of the problem.
People lose their minds over it. People lose their minds over it.
It is a replacement for religion.
People are like, we need to do this, and if we don't sort this, my life is over.
Listen to this.
Going downhill, and. I'm not gonna lie, they live around here because obviously this is what it is, and loads, not particularly these, but there's houses down there, and you can have a look at them. I'm joking. And it's
right. So my dad was in the shop the other day. Right, listen to this fucking whack shit. Goes up to the counter.
Yeah.
I was speaking about. Sorry, he's giving me 2 stories. I'm trying to work out which one's which. One of them he's just roasting them. The one before he goes up, and she was going. I'm going to put an accent on because this is what he did and it's funny. Oh, I can't wait till it gets a bit warmer around here. He goes, right. Yeah, it's freezing now, isn't it? Yeah. I can't wait till summer. That doesn't mean I want the world to die, though. And he goes... And I just thought, this is how much it is that is pro fucking gramming at that point. That someone can't even say something without checking themselves against a fucking bizarre hazard warning, brain indicating, firing fucking signal that's gone off. That the fucking, do you know what I mean? How? Yeah. That is just programming. The fact that you can't even get through a sentence without fucking going, oh no, I don't want the world to die. What summer? Summer! You don't want the sun to come out. You mentalist. Mentalist! It pissed me off.
This thing as well is you don't. This is also why I have a massive problem with it is that you don't see the positive news on the other side. It's I think this year was last year. Sorry, was the most trees that have ever been in the Northern Hemisphere. This year, this winter was the most frozen seawater there's been in the last
and they planted 20 million trees this year as well, and
finally
for a YouTube course.
And it's finally on the way up. So it's finally showed a pattern of like I think 8 years of succession of growing ice, and it's like you never hear that. Do you know what I mean? You only ever hear the doom and gloom. It's like even what you said about the tree planting. All you ever heard was, I mean, it was quite funny because what was it? Jeff Bezos, YouTube said 20 million, and Jeff Bezos said I'll do 20 million 100, and then Elon Musk said I'll do.
And then Jeff Bezos said I'll put 10 billion pledge in. 10 billion.
And then
10 billion.
And then everyone kept one-upping each other, and it was like, this is just fucking silly now. It's not. You're not.
I mean, that is a virtue signal thing, but again, like this is what we talked about last week briefly. Do you give a fuck if? Actually, we sort of talked about it. I sort of raised it. It was drowned out in a sea of bullshit. Do you give a fuck if people are doing perceived good things and they flaunt it?
Well, it's like,
I don't fucking care.
It's
better if they don't.
If there's two people that are fucking up the environment, it's Bezos and Musk.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point.
Do you know what I mean?
It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous.
Like, they have to counter everything all the time. So like that's where I'd be.
I just it's every time I have a conversation with someone as well, not you. I'm just talking in general. I'm generalising. That we never talk specifics about it, so it always goes back to, because I don't know enough, and I'm sure you don't.
I've tried to read, more,
but it's hard, isn't it, to stay on top of it, because it really requires dedicated reading.
I mean, ultimately, I just think, well, look, if okay, maybe it's the apocalyptic predictions aren't right, maybe it's not absolutely the worst thing in the world ever, but you know, I don't see why not just try and be more sustainable on the things? It seems inherently like a good thing to do.
Be proactive,
so exactly. Exactly.
This
it doesn't seem, and in fact, you know, if you think the markets, all the rest of it, you know, you could structure society such that, you know, environmental jobs, it could be beneficial and it could be a way of like creating investment and jobs and things.
I just feel
so it can be in tandem.
Yeah,
no, I agree.
I 100%.
That's the point.
I would say that's.
So why not embrace it rather than take the risk of what these people are, right? How about we just embrace it anyway and then, you know, work with it, because it seems like a good thing anyway.
I don't think it's apocalyptic. I just think it's less wasteful.
What I'm saying is, I think the problem, not so much the problem. I think it, like what you're saying, completely value point. I feel like it falls under the umbrella of quote unquote wokeness and the whole sort of moral virtue signal movement. Like you look at Harry, like. Harry right now is talking about, you know, he's not saying he's off it, but he's not, you know, preaching it, and he's living in the most, you fucking name this, like you name a dude right now who's living in the most eco-sustainable thing in the UK, and he's saying, hey guys, like, this is wrong.
But not everyone's in that position. You hold those, that's what I'm saying.
I know you're not. I'm just saying, I feel like with everything in life, people fucking take something just to look good in front of their peers, look good in front of their immediate community. And there's no substance behind it, and I always think it's like that. The bigger the ego, to some degree, it's like the more someone's gonna fucking flaunt something about something, and it's just a wider point, and it grates on me that people take certain issues. I mean, it's like you look, like we talked about this. Yeah, it's like you look at that have you heard about the Carolina flag?
Oh yeah.
Before I give my view, not my view, just comment on it slightly. What were your